Aaron Singerman with RxMuscle.com, sitting here with the owner of Metroflex Gym, the promoter of the contest today, Brian Dobson. Brian, this has been, I'm tired, and I've only been doing this for a day. You've got to be freaking exhausted. We're sitting down.
We are exhausted, but, it's done now, so we're very happy, Events like this, when you're really putting them on, even 2 to 3 weeks prior, every day is kind of a beating. And, you'll get up and you're like, oh, how are we going to do this? How's it going to happen? But really, in all honesty, I pretty much do everything up till today. And then we have a great team of people that comes through. Our NPC officials are fabulous. Years ago, we could have never pulled this off with the team we used to have. And, I've got guys that help me every year. Some of these people, they actually like doing stuff like this. They like doing the big shows, and it's fun to them. To me, it's fun right now, I guess, or it'll be fun tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll be happy.
Brian, I got to say, man, I've been last year. The show was it's been a success every year for every year that I've been coming. This year was overwhelming. It's the prejudging, man. The prejudging had thousands of people at the prejudging. I mean, I go to pro shows, Brian, or Europa pro shows where, it's a great show. They have a great expo, but I think the prejudging at the show may have had more than almost a majority of the pro shows I go to.
We had a lot of people also doing other events here that helped a lot. Sean Catterley of Hardcore Powerlifting, he works with y'all. He works his butt off on that event. I mean, he takes great pride in it being the best powerlifting event possible. We brought in some people, friends of mine from Iceland, Benedict Magnuson. Benny came in. It was supernatural to see what he did there today. I mean, it was just crazy. The strength, the humbleness of that guy, and I'm still just blown away. I mean, he did the heaviest deadlift of all time, bar none. Whether he's done some heavy ones wearing a suit. There's some other people, or one guy, that had lifted more than him with a suit, Andy Bolton from Great Britain, and Benny came in today, no suit, probably only trained about 6 weeks, but it was really almost like a supernatural thing. I think it was what we call a God thing. A God moved in his heart. He was just going to win the show. He told me, because I brought him over here because I promised I'll take him hunting. He's starting to hunt over there. About all they have to hunt over there are little like penguin-looking birds, puffins and ptarmigan. And so I told him I'm going to take him wild boar hunting here. And so that was kind of the bait that drew him in. And he was like, I don't know if I'll just do enough to win, or do I? You're a blasted Viking. You're gonna dominate. You're gonna crush this thing, man, and do it. And I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like God spoke to me about him, and I went to him and told him, I said, you've been anointed to be the very best in the world at this particular lift. And I go, it's time that you just show everybody and shut up your critics and do it. And he said, all right, I go for the world record of all time. And we went to put 1,010 on there. We couldn't fit 1,010 on there because the way the plates work in the collars, because you got to put a collar on, it wasn't going to work. So we had to put a bigger plate on, a 35-pound plate, I believe it was. And with that, it made it 1,015. It was like, it doesn't matter. I will do it. And, he snatched it up. It looked like he could have done 100 more pounds.
He did it relatively easily.
Relatively easy, It looked great, man. It was just awesome. And, then he did 600 for reps after that. And won that, I think 23 or something, just did enough to win that. And then he gave all the money to my church here that he won. So it was really a great thing. And, and then just the whole event, I feel, went very well. I think all the vendors were very happy. With me, I really depend on the vendors to pay me early to kind of pay for all these things. You got to pay for these big venues in advance. People don't really realize the expense putting something like this on. From your sanction fees to your, every table here has a fee. These chairs we're sitting on, there's thousands of them out here. Every one of them is $1, this stage and lights, that's $6,000-$7,000. The sound system, everything associated with these deals, there's a price tag. And you got to make it to, to go beyond, and we were definitely abundantly blessed, I believe. I mean, my wife on these days, up till today, I just turned the money over to her, and I don't even, sometime tomorrow we'll figure out what we made, but I can pretty much guarantee this is a huge success.
There's no doubt. And I got to say, Brian, that as far as the bodybuilding show and the level of competition at this show, I mean, I just said the novice guy who won the novice overall, that guy may be the best novice bodybuilder I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I would say he is the best I've ever seen. He beat one of my guys, and my guy was pretty dadgum good. The guy that got second to him. I mean, they both would have probably got first and second in the open heavyweight. They were both, and I see him as being another future pro from our state.
I'll tell you what, a lot of the overall winners were good enough that they're going to move on to the next level and do very well, if not go on to the pro level and do well.
Sure. And I mean, these bikini girls and figure girls, I mean, Texas, we dominate, man. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know how they could judge those girls, I mean, no disrespect to my beautiful wife. I mean, my wife was she got fourth in the very first figure competition of all time here. And since then, she hasn't done any competing. It's like that was her one diet of her life, and I think she's done forever. But, I mean, I don't know how they can judge that. I mean, I'm looking at these girls, I'm just like, my gosh. I don't know how. I could never do it. I could never be a judge because every one of them's a 10. I mean, every one is beautiful.
You're absolutely right. Now, I want to ask you a little off the topic here about boar hunting. So, me and Dave Palumbo are going to be back down here on the 20th. Well, we'll be here on the 21st, I think, but we're going to go boar hunting one of those days.
What is it?
Pros versus Pros Bench Press Challenge will be at your gym, Arlington Metroplex. And so we're going to it's going to be a big event and everything. But before that, me and Dave, you, and probably Sally Ann, we're going to go out and we're going to do some of this boar hunting. I've got to admit, I'm a little nervous about the boar hunting. A little nervous. Could you give, what should I expect?
Well, I mean, I took Dave out before a long time ago when he worked for MD, and he was doing the road to the Arnold, and he came here to film Branch, and he's like, man, we just got done doing Dexter's, and I'm going to tell you, that was boring, I mean, the workouts were lame, and the off time, he just sat around on his cell phone and playing video games. And I said, well, I'm going to tell you what we'll do. We will take you on, I'll show you what Branch does for cardio. And so we set it up, and I mean, he got up early. He probably had to get up about 4 a.m. for us to go, and we went to a place about 100 miles from the gym. I mean, it was a little trip, but it was a place I knew had some good boars. And, we got on one pretty quick, and he was a battler. I mean, he cut some dogs, and it was a battle. We actually lost a dog that day, and, it was Branch's first big knife kill, and, the whole process of turning the dogs out, baying the hog, and getting it probably wasn't no more than 25, 30 minutes. And that's actually rare. Hopefully, we'll leave some places alone that we hunt. The key a lot with the boars is really finding where they're eating. This time of year, people are starting to plant crops. If you can find some fields that they're hitting. We had an oat field the other night. We turned them out. It was a 10-minute hunt, and we had a big one. And I'd really like to get some that aren't super huge. Giant ones are not good to eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, if they've been caught before and we castrate them and let them go, then they're good to eat. Back in the old days, that's what the people did. The farmers and ranchers that raised hogs used to let them run wild.
Really?
And that's why we have so many here. And they had great dogs that they would pretty much every couple times a year round them up. They would mark everybody had their own ear mark. I mean, it was a very specialized thing. They would castrate the boars, and then usually they would, because they didn't have any refrigeration, they would wait till it got cold. So around January was hog killing time, and they would smoke and preserve this meat, and it really would hold them through for 4 to 5 months out of the year. And and the lard they would make from the fat, deer meat, of course, is excellent, but a lot of cuts of deer, if you don't add fat to it, it doesn't taste good.
Right.
So with the lard, they depended on the hog, for good food. I mean, to make their biscuits, to make all their stuff like that, and hopefully anyway, we'll get some good eating ones because I want to smoke some and cook them for the bros versus pros.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is there any chance that we can make sure that Dave Palumbo does the kill?
But we'll dang sure make sure he goes.
I would love to do that.
That's the deal.
He's telling me, they run so fast, I can't even keep up with them when they run. And I was like, Dave, we're going to keep up with them because that's the key. I want to see it. And so, we'll hold him. So I was saying, if he's slow, we'll hold the hog. We'll have Dave kind of
I got some young men that hunt with me. They can literally run with the dogs. And they're fearless. That's one right over there. That striped shirt on.
Oh yeah,
he's tough
too.
He's powerful, man, and he's a real.
He'll grab the hog and
if they get there before we do, which I've never been able to beat him to a bay ever. Well, he's just fast. And I'm old now, but the whole key is the dog. It's all about the dogs. You get the dogs. We have good dogs.
I hope no dogs die.
No, it's really rare, for that to happen. This dog we lost in that one hunt, she was a very aggressive breed called a Jag Terrier. They have absolutely no fear, and they're very small. They weigh about 20 pounds. I had one. He found it and baited, and then she came running in like a kamikaze and just got smacked. He knew he'd been on enough hunts and been around enough to know what his limitations were, and there's a lot of difference. Dogs are like people. Boars are like people. Some are really tough. Some will fight really hard. Every hog is going to try his best to escape, and he's certainly going to fight those dogs. Some are crazier and more aggressive than others, just like people. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a good, successful hunt. I mean, leading up to this, every hunt I went on, we caught at least 2. So, the whole month of March, I wasn't able to hunt at all because of getting ready for the Ronnie Coleman. I mean, I even worked every weekend up there. I mean, we sold a lot of pre-sale tickets and a lot of things had to be done. We had 20 guys from Metroflex Arlington alone competed, so, they take a lot of, competitors they take a lot of special care.
You're raring to go hunting.
Yeah, it'd be great,
to have Dave kill one.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to get Dave on one. I think and really, he did good on that last time. He did good. He held his.
He didn't kill anything, but
when we were dragging it out, I drug it about a mile, and then when he saw the truck, all of a sudden he wanted it. Then
Really?
He's like, let me get it. I'm like, man, I will kill you.
Just let him stab it one time.
I will kill you if you touch this hog. I've already drug it a mile.
That's funny.
So, it's a matter of pride now. This last 150 yards, you ain't touching it.
I got it. Well, Brian, thank you very, very much. This was an excellent show, as usual. Great production.
Pros versus pros. I think it's going to be great.
We're going to have a great time, and we'll have a great hunt, and Dave will kill something. It's going to be fantastic.
Awesome. We're going to get him one.
Thank you, Brian. For RX Muscle, Brian Dobson, we're out.